Genetic engineering in cattle. To some extent, it has been practiced for thousands of years through domestication and selective breeding. In the modern world, the goals remain the same, but the methods have changed. Today, methods such as artificial insemination, embryo transfer, and in some cases cloning are being employed to produce cattle more efficiently. But the use of this modern technology is not unopposed. Some believe that these techniques are either ethically or morally questionable, while proponents argue that the potential gains more than outweigh any possible negative repercussions. To explain the goals and processes associated with genetic engineering, we have an expert from the industry.
Genetic engineering, sometimes referred to as GE, is being used to help develop human pharmaceuticals, healthier crops and foods, and microbes that make cheese and beer. Scientists are now applying these same GE techniques used in crop and medicine production to animals. Through the wonders of scientific research and development, genetic engineering in animals will someday help make some animals resistant to deadly diseases, allow certain animals to provide a new source of medicines, help different types of animals grow tissues, cells, and organs that may one day be used for human transplant, lessen the harmful environmental impact of certain livestock, increase the nutritional value of some foods by creating leaner meats, higher in omega-3 fatty acids, and provide more food to meet the world's growing demand by shortening the time it takes for an animal to grow to full size for food production.
Well, a lot of advantages to genetic engineering would be that you can get genetics from one bull from another pasture to your pasture. Like last year with the drought, a lot of people sold a lot of their cattle. With genetic engineering and the technologies, what you can do is, instead of having to go back, rebuild your herd from scratch, what you do is you can keep back one or two of your best, take it to a genetic company as of Transo Genetics, and we can flush, meaning we can take AI semen and then flush the embryos out into multiple recipient cows, and that can multiply your level of genetics in your herd much quicker than the normal way. You can take one of your best cows, instead of having one calf a year, you can have 20, 30, 40, depending on how many times you want to flush. But I'd say one of the disadvantages is with a lot of this breeding and things, with show calves, things like that, in the commercial area, a lot of the calves are getting too big for birth weights. Research needs to keep being pushed further and further with the genetics of how they're going, and with droughts and things like that, and just the weather changes. Genetically changing the cattle, I wouldn't say it would be the best thing for the whole group of meat from grass and things like that, but with the higher temperatures and things like that, getting the genetics from cows from the south and moving them up towards cows from the north allows them to put weight on in the summer, unlike what a lot of your South Dakota cows, Montana, a lot of your really good purebred cattle cannot do, because they just can't withstand that heat, and so they lose that extra weight, which is needed. And then it also really needs to be further advanced, because there's a lot of embryos and things like that that go to waste out of really good flushes and things like that. But furthering those technologies that we already have, making them more efficient and being able to use them on more things and more scenarios will just make those genetics needed, even in the kill plants, feedlots, things like that, because having a steer weighing 1,300 pounds in a feedlot, you're losing money on it. But if you can get that steer to a good solid 1,000 pounds quicker and faster because of those genetic differences, That's whenever you can bring meat prices down, especially with the high corn and feed costs, and then everybody will benefit from it. There's a reason for genetics to go away. Whenever you start genetically altering animals, corn, soybeans, whatever it is, you're doing it for a reason. You're not going to do it the opposite direction it needs to go. You're not going to decrease yields, just like you're not going to decrease the good genetics.
In conclusion, modern technology and genetic engineering provides an opportunity to produce a higher quality supply of beef and dairy products more efficiently than ever before. But do these benefits offset the costs? This technology is very expensive and, according to some, ethically questionable. The decision is yours to make.